Right, today we're going to go through the entire Shadow Shaper or Shadowmaster Invitational event, picking out the best decks and strategies to get the best rewards, right? And the jewel with at least 30 power. We'll go all the way to the end to get the special ghost card back and the elemental fruit choice chest. There's quite a few rewards in here that are worth going for. So we're going to start. I decided to save it till the very end. All of the levels, I suppose, are unlocked now. So we're going to go in and we're going to go and look at which decks to choose, and you can play along with me. The best deck for the first mission is going to have to be the Bazinet deck, which is a Hive deck. So this Hive deck is all about inspiring, right? When you play some cards, the Hives will be inspired, and this will basically mean they'll get more power after the end of the turn. Now, there's also some cards that add inspired to Hive, and also cards that boost power to inspired cards. So basically, they're all like themed together about this inspired function. So it's pretty straightforward. We just need to make sure that we're always putting down cards that add to the inspired effect in some way. It's a really easy first round, honestly.
Ready to get schooled?
So we're defensive. Obviously, with this card coming down, if we place a unit in the front row, he'll get one more power. So we don't want to put anyone in the front row for now. And as you can see here, when played, gains the inspired effect. So now when I end the turn, this one is going to gain power. Sorry, I just turned up the sound a bit, so we've got like that. There we go. It gains one power at the end of the turn because it is inspired. And it's a pretty straight start. So now we've got this card, which is really interesting. When played, suppresses a unit. So when someone is suppressed, sustained effects are disabled. So now I can put something in the front row whilst he is sustained. We don't have to worry about his power, suppressed, sorry. So now we've got one here. Tenacious Shielded Knight grants inspired to the Hive units on the left and right. It's the only card we can play, so unfortunately we're just going to have to go like that, and it's only going to work to uninspired Hive units. He's already inspired, so that basically does nothing that turn, but we had no other option, right? We had no other card to play. Yolda, the next instance of damage is doubled, okay, so you need to be careful of that. Let's have a look. Does 4 damage to an opposing unit when played in the back row. That's really good. We can put that down and get rid of Yolda so that we're not taking any big amounts of damage, right? Great. Now, obviously, all the cards you get are going to be random, but it's a pretty straightforward first game. Oh, that's a pain. Wind came in and messed us up. Right, we're on 4 now. This one's a bit of a pain because it says randomly grants +3 power to 2 of your inspired Hive units. We don't have 2 inspired Hive units. This one grants an inspired Hive unit +3 power. Now, this one's going to give us a +5 power plus a +3. This one's going to give us +4 +3. We may as well use this one because unfortunately we just don't have 2 units down, but it's still going to be a higher point gain for us to do that. So it's just a bit of math, right? Like this one, there's no point saving it. We're not going to be able to use it the next round anyway. Right, okay, let's have a look here. Gains the inspired effect. Here we go. So this one randomly grants +3 power to 2 of your inspired Hive units again, alongside this one. So we've got 2 inspired units now. If we put this down, we're going to get 2 inspired units getting +2 power. Now, you can see this one's really starting to amp up in power because it builds up after every single turn. Pretty good. All right, final turn. Right, now we've got to try and get 30 power, right? So let's have a look. We didn't get the 6 card, unfortunately. It's a shame. But this one grants an inspired Hive unit +3 power again. Like that. Okay, and now we're at 27. And we have just enough to get the 30. Put this one down here. We can get another plus on the inspired units. Why didn't that work? Grants inspired to one of your Hive units. I don't know. Oh, right, because, yeah, inspired. I thought it would let you choose who. I guess because they're all inspired. Anyway, there we go. We got over 30 points. This one, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Don't need to work too hard for this one because the cards are just that Good. Okay, moving into stage 2. We've got 2 different decks here. We've got the sort of Shank deck, the Fallen, I suppose. Right, the Fallen deck. But there's not like any decent Fallen cards for the Mythics. So it doesn't really synergize very well. I think this one's better, the Cabal deck. Now, Cabal cards are really interesting. Basically, it uses columns. So you need to have your cards like in a column. And I'll show you what that means. Basically, above each other. So one card will be in the bottom row and there will be one above it in the same position. That counts as a column. And that's going to give you a lot of these extra powers, right? Look at this. Sustained column. Grants +2 power to units directly in front of or behind. Then look at this one. Grants +3 power to all units in a column. Now, to be in a column, you literally just need to have a card above or below it, right? So this one's really good at stacking up a bunch of power as well. Hopefully, we'll get lucky with pulling the Mythic at the end. So we start with this one. Grants +1 power, sustained column. Okay, so we need to get him in a column as quickly as possible. And to do that, we just put a card underneath him, right? So now the first card comes down. All right, we've got a few different choices. Grants +2 power to units directly in front or behind. Okay, units directly in front of or behind take 1 less damage or gains +2 power. So this one is going to give us a +4, right? Power rating and +2. So that's +6. This one's going to give us +2 and +3. So this one is going to be a net gain. It's going to be the most amount of points for us at the moment. And you can see that they are now linked in a column. And he is now got this sustained column effect active. So it's pretty straightforward. We just build up columns like this. And he's got the Fallen inspired, the Hive inspired deck. So we know how that works. They're going to build up a lot of inspired. So if we can do any damage to potentially eliminate inspired along the way, that's going to be great. When played front row, a selected front row unit and the units to its left and right deal 1 additional damage. Okay, but we don't have anything dealing damage yet. This one's power. Grants 2 power units directly in front of him. Grants 2 powers. Okay, so this is a sustained effect again. We have not enough points to get all of these down, so we're going to go for this one. Grant Cabal units directly in front of or behind 1 power, because what's really interesting here is this is actually going to break. Now, what's really interesting about this is, look, we can actually connect them here, and they're still connected, right? This still counts to be directly in front or behind, right? They are still technically in a column. You know, half of the card is in the column, but it still counts, which is very interesting, right? Okay, so now we've got a +4. So we've got 2 2s here. Probably the best thing to do. Grants +2 power to units directly in front or behind, and then the same there. Or we've got units directly in front or behind take 1 less damage. Yeah, the Hive deck isn't really going to do much damage to us, so we don't need to worry about that. So we'll put this one down. And then now we can go like this, and the column is still active, right? As you can see, they are still directly above or behind. So this one is really, really good. Okay. So obviously they're not doing much damage to us because this is not really a damage dealing deck that the enemy has. So we just build up over time. We're going to go for the 5 power. Grants +3 power to units on the left and right. So we'll put him right there. And there we go. Brilliant. We're taking some damage now, but not a big deal. We've got over 30 power now, and we are in the lead. Don't know if we're going to be able to get our mythic card, but we do have... Yeah, we don't. So we're going to just do this one again, and look at this column effect in active now. That is incredible. And in fact, I mean, we may as well put this one down too. Then the turn, and we've got a decent amount of points coming in. It's going to be hard for the enemy to take the win here. And, ooh, yeah, there we go. So we got 50 points to 46. We did win, so that's great. Right then, let's move on into stage 3. So Pandora's deck is sort of like this human deck. They do a decent amount of damage, and they have like gorilla units which grant power to each other. So these gorillas are the ones that are going to get all the power benefits, right? Grants all gorilla units +3 power. If they're fallen on the opponent's field, grants all gorilla units in this row +4 power. But there are only, if you look, there's only 2 gorilla units in this whole pack. So we don't need to worry about that much. Someone's one. Okay, so these one also summon gorilla units. So we need to be able to eliminate gorilla units before they become too overpowered, right? So let's look at the decks that we have. We have the same Hive deck. This one's great, but it doesn't dish out enough damage, right? And then we have the Fallen deck. Now, Fallen, this is a really good deck that really does snowball. And do we have any here? Yeah, this one deals damage. So this is what we're going to go for. It's going to be important to get that down. This is a really, really strong deck as well. This card here basically will get the base dreg here. Oh, we don't have any dregs in this deck? What? Weird. This is kind of a weird deck. Usually you would run the Unrelenting Captain and some dregs. But instead, what you have is this. When you place this down, all placed dregs will get 1 extra power. This card here will actually summon dregs, so they'll get boosted with extra power. And the grenade drag will basically make every card that's played in its row give the grenade drag extra power. So you basically stack up a bunch of low power fallen, and they end up getting more powerful every time. So we start with this one, put the Unrelenting Captain down, and he will now boost any dregs coming in. Now, I would honestly... Oh, this is a problem. Yeah, so we're going to have to put this in the bottom row, unfortunately. I would put the grenade dreg down first so that the bonuses sort of double up, and you'll see what I mean in a second. But we do need to be a little bit careful. There's a limit of 7 cards on the back slot. This one's going to play 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So we can't actually put this card down. The reason for it is we need the Elite Walker to be down, which is a bit of a pain, unfortunately. So we are in a bit of a pickle here. Now, if I put this down, when an opponent places a unit in the front row gains +1 power, but we'll also deal 1 damage. So we'll put this down and damage it first, and then we eliminate it before the power effect takes play. Would have been nice to put it here, but just with the way that things stacked up, if we fill this row with low power units, we're not going to be able to put our Elite Walker down, which will eliminate the gorillas later on, which is incredibly important for this strategy to get this card destroyed. So now we can put down the Fallen Walker. And this is now going to do 2 damage to 2 random units every single turn, right? And this is going to be really useful because we want to make sure that the enemy's sort of powerful cards don't keep boosting the gorilla unit. So that's 1 gorilla unit dead. Great. And we'll keep that up as we go on. And now we can start building up a nice collection. See, that's what I mean there. If there are fallen units on the field, grant all gorillas in this row +4 power. So we just saved ourselves from, by destroying that 1 gorilla, saved ourselves a 4 power difference. So now what we're going to do is actually switch things up a bit. We're going to put this here. Okay. And then we're going to put this one here because we still want some space in the back for potentially if we can get another Elite Walker down. But what you'll see now is the bonus basically stacks up. So because we're putting cards in this row, the Grenade Dreg is getting an extra power. And the Unrelenting Captain is also giving an extra power to all the dregs in the row. So this row is now filled up, something that we need to be careful of. But we've only got 2 more turns left, so it's okay. If we can get another Fallen Walker down, that'd be great. But we also have our 6 card here, so it's not a problem. Yeah, here we go. This is the big one. Grants +2 power to all your Fallen on the field. You get that one, it's just beautiful. If you didn't have that one, you could always put another catch down, and that's going to really give you enough power. But we'll put that down, and like that, we've got a big boost in power. And the enemy has no chance of beating us here. And like that, we're going in... Ooh, okay. Yeah, got 34 power. Yeah, we got 59. going in. Great, right? Wonderful work. Making progress on this. Right, moving on. All right. Sorry, had to have a bit of a break there. Look, let's talk about the next stage then. So, here's an interesting thing if we look at this, right? We've got the opposing team running the same Fallen deck we just played. Now, these cards, you would think, need to be destroyed as quickly as possible so they don't bloom out in power, right? They're going to keep powering each other. They're going to get stronger. We probably want to destroy these as soon as possible. Now, that is a good win strategy, but if we look at the cards we have here, this card does so much damage, right? So much damage. This deck is probably going to win the game, but you're not going to get the 30 power you need to get the rewards because it's just not, this deck does not synergize well with each other, and it's all about dealing damage. And mathematically, the cards have been balanced so that you're either going to gain or take away somewhat of an equivalent amount of power based on the card's cost. So if we're taking away the enemy's power, we're not going to be gaining much power. So it's just not going to work. We also have the Cabal deck again. This one's just going to be a straight winner for us for getting the 30 power we need. The other team, the other enemy, is going to build up a really strong deck as well, but that's not going to be a problem. We just need to get more power than them, and this is just going to be really easy. So we're going to run this again, the Cabal deck. So we got this card. Your Cabal units deal 2 additional damage. Yeah, okay, cool. We're not really going to do much damage, though, honestly. So that's fine. Just want to build up that deck, right? Build up that deck. And he's just, okay, that's weird. He's put down that before he even has the grenade drag down. Okay. This is a 2-1. Your Cabal units, honestly, this is going to give us more power because we're not going to deal. Oh, we do have one card that does deal damage. Actually, this would be pretty big. All right. We'll do that then. Okay. We don't have any column cards built up yet, which is a bit of a problem. Things have just rolled that way for now. Oh, this guy's run out of space already. He's played. Okay, the AI has played this really weirdly. He's completely run out of space, so we don't need to worry about anything but gaining power. Okay, so here we go. 5 power plus 3 points is going to give plus 2 power to a line unit. So that's going to give that one. Yep, brilliant. Building this up now. I think that this, if you have a situation like this, you're just going to win. All you got to do is build the 30 power. Like, he's completely run out of space now, which is really, really quite funny. We actually don't want to do any damage, which is quite funny. Deals 3 damage to a unit in the back row. Thing is, we don't want to do damage, realistically, but we don't have a choice now. we don't have a choice. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to have to put that down. We don't have any synergy going on here with the units going on. Interesting. Yeah, so we put him in the front row. When played, a 3-unit line. So you need to build a 3-unit line before you can deal damage. Right, we don't have a 3-unit line. We have a 2-unit line. Interesting. Right, we continue. We got a 5 cost card here that gives us 8 power. It's going to deal 2 damage if we have a 5 line. We don't have a 5 line, so we don't need to worry about that. We can just put it anywhere. And then we're good to go. Now we're getting closer to the 30-point limit. Hopefully we get a good card here. Okay. Let's have a look. Here we go. Grants plus 2 units on the left and right. Brilliant. So that's a very cheap card. Now we've got 28 points. We need 2 more power. We are defensive, so we basically won the game. Pretty straightforward. We can put this one down. We'll go on then. We'll put this one down, shall we? All right. Nice. And like that, we got the power. So honestly, this deck is just about sort of building up lines, and you'll deal damage to the enemy whilst doing that. And if you can't get the 30 power, you'll just need to reroll it. You probably got a little bit unlucky there. It might happen. For stage 5, we've got an enemy using a fallen team, but it's a damage dealing fallen team. And for us, we can choose between the gorilla team. You know, you can basically put down a bunch of gorillas and empower those. And then we have the Fallen deck here as well. Honestly, this deck is just so much better. We're going to take a bit of damage from the enemy, so we might not be able to build as much of like a snowball with these unrelenting captains and dregs. But this card, it's all going to come down to this card. Like getting +2 power to all of your Fallen on the field. Going to be really good. If you get unlucky and you don't get this card at the end, then you might just have to re-roll this particular match, but it should be pretty straightforward as long as we get that card. All right, we are on the offensive side. Got bad RNG here. No 1 energy cards. No problem. We'll go again. And we got the 6 card though, so that's good. We got the mythic. Okay, I mean, it works out for us because the enemy doesn't have anything there anyway. So we can put down the unrelenting captain here. And we're both just basically losing a turn there, which is pretty funny. Not a big deal. Let's go on to the next turn. Let's see what we can do here. So they got a Servitor, which is going to increase damage. A bit of a problem. Nothing we can do about it, though. Yeah, I mean, for this option here, we're going to put this here. And we're going to use the front row to build up our grenade dregs and dregs, basically. So we're kind of waiting to get another unrelenting captain here if we can, or a grenade dreg. There we go. We've got a grenade dreg, so we can go like this, and then like this. And it's going to give us a lot of power spike. The front row is now going to be basically blocked out. The dream, like, pool would be to have 2 unrelenting captains, and you would just get so many points. But you got to get pretty lucky for that to happen. There are 2 in this deck. We didn't get lucky. Sorry, I had to pause the video there, so you missed out, but basically the Elite Walker got played and dealt damage to our units. But luckily, our Grenade Drag and our Unrelenting Captain stayed alive, so that's actually benefiting us, because we got no more space here to put more units down now, which is nice. Got another Unrelenting Captain here. Interesting. I think what we're going to do is put down the Unrelenting Captain in this row, so he gets the benefit. And then we'll put the Elite Walker here, and hopefully we hit the enemy's Elite Walker. We do. Brilliant. Okay, so now we just need 10 more power, which is going to be really easy because we have the Vanok card. So we've basically got this one in the bag, and they've got 1 more turn as well. But it should be pretty straightforward. We will put the the Vanok in here, because then this Grenade Drake will get 1 more point as well. Like that, we've got 42 points, and the enemy only has 5. As long as they don't deal 13 damage to us. Ooh, okay, that was close. They did do a lot, but we came out on top anyway. So there we go. Brilliant. You just basically play off of that mythic card at the end, and you're good to go. Okay, stage 6. Let's take a look at this. Stage 6 has a Cabal deck. This particular Cabal deck is all about columns, building columns, as you can see. Yeah, all about building columns. So they're going to have a lot of power here. All right, they're going to have a lot of power. Let's see what options we have. We have a damage dealing deck here, and then a Hive deck. I think we go for the Hive option. Once again, when you're dealing a lot of damage, you might struggle to get enough power out to get the 30 power. So I think it makes sense to go for the Hive deck here. This deck is not bad, but it doesn't have enough power coming in. Look, damage, 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 damage. The more damage we deal, mathematically means the less power we're going to get for ourselves, because the cards have to be balanced. So yeah, we're going to go into this with doing this deck. All right, we go first this round. We're on the offensive, but we have no cards. This is quite weird, actually. We've got a lot of high power cards, high cost cards. This could be a bad RNG pull for us. We might get unlucky here. Yes. We're probably going to have to re-roll this. Just really bad luck here. I mean, what else can we do? Okay, now look at how many cards we've got. Damage to an opposing unit, 4 damage. I mean, we may as well play that. Like, we'll see how this goes. We might be able to save this, but like missing 2 turns is kind of a big deal. We got RNG'd like crazy. I want to keep this in to show that sometimes you do get bad RNG, and the only thing you can do is keep playing. Right, we've got when someone summons 2 random Hive units to its left and right. Random Hive units. That is crazy. Let's hope we get lucky here. Oh, that's huge. Oh, wow. So I don't think the when played effect works, but that is a big turnaround. That saved us. That saved us for sure. Okay, right then. Let's have a look. We got 5 cost here. Grant and Hive inspired Hive unit plus 3 power. We don't have any inspired units, which is a problem. So let's see. Grant inspired to one of your units. Yeah, we're gonna grant inspired to this, and then we're gonna put down this as well. So we've got a couple inspired units kind of ready to go. And then we can put that there too. There we go. Okay, brilliant. So now we've got some inspired units playing out. We got unlucky at the start, but we played it out and it seems to be going okay for the time being. They are in the lead though, which is a problem. When played, summons one shade on the left. Yep, we're going to do that. So that will then play this card, which will gain 4 power for every inspired Hive on your field. If this had played out better, we would have so much power right now, but it played out really badly. However, we do have 44 power here. Hopefully we win this. No, we don't. Okay, so we did get unlucky with the draw, but you can see how powerful this inspired deck can be. We just got really unlucky RNG. So we're going to play that again. This time, we get luckier. Brilliant. This is how it should be. We got a very unfortunate pull of cards, right? We missed the 2 first turns, which is a big deal. So when played, gains the inspired effect. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, we want as many inspired cards as humanly possible. We saw that before. So we'll go in now and get down as many inspired cards as we can. Yep. And they're just going to keep growing in power turn after turn. So the sooner you get these cards down, the better. And we missed out that chance last time. Just RNG. You will get RNG. Don't get frustrated. You just run it again. Okay, here we go. Grant inspired to one of your units. I mean, they already have inspired. But this is going to give us the most power benefit anyway. So we may as well just put that one down. You can't target yourself, which is a shame. I think they specifically made sure a lot of cards can't target themselves. Otherwise, that would have been nice. Right now, they have got a big lead, but we shouldn't worry too much. This card is crazy. Let's see if we get lucky here with something good. 2 random Hive cards. Pretty bad. What is this? Randomly moves to your opponent's front row, then dies at the beginning of your next turn, dealing 2 damage. Okay, so it's that kind of card. That was a bad pull from the Tomb Ship there. Just pulls 2 random Hive cards out, you know? A lot of RNG in this deck. It's going to be a little bit frustrating for this one. But you just got to keep going. Got to keep going. Why did it attack itself? Oh, because... Oh, no. That is so bad. Because it essentially doesn't count as being played, it doesn't move to the enemy's side. But it still does damage. Oh, boy. This is a good one, though. Randomly grants plus 3 power to 2 of your inspired units. Yep, that's great. And then just this card. We've managed to pull it back for the time being. But my goodness, is that unlucky. This card is so RNG. So RNG. All right, we've got 48. Oh, God. No. Oh, goodness. Okay, 45 power. All right. Let's see. This one is going to give us a straight 10 power. So that's 40. Oh, we've won. We've absolutely won. So we put that there. Yeah, brilliant. There we go. A lot of RNG in this deck. But you will be able to win because it's a very powerful deck. If you don't win, just play it a few times until you get lucky. Okay, moving on. The big one, the final deck. They have a Cabal deck with Thagrius. Deals damage to the unit equal to double the number of line units. So this is a line unit deck. Cabals have columns, you know, up and down, and lines horizontally. So this one here, your Cabal units deal extra damage if they're in a line of 3. And then we've got this one, deals 3 damage to the unit in the back row. A lot of damage dealing cards. A lot of line cards. So let's look at our options here. We've got the same inspired Hive deck. Or you can use your own player deck. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Oh, wait, is it? Event deck, players deck. Okay, this is not my deck. I was going to say, this is not my deck. Interesting. So we've got this card here, and then we've got turn 2 doubles your next power bonus. When you acquire a bonus, randomly places a rock in the opponent's front row. Ooh, interesting. When acquiring a power bonus, grants +2 power to the unit on the right. Grants inspired to one of your units. Randomly places 2 rocks in the opponent's front row. This could actually be the deck to make it work because it's going to ruin the enemy's line effect. It's going to ruin the enemy's line effect. Is there enough power to be had here? Estella grants a unit power equal to 2 times the number of units in the opponent's front row. I think it's all going to base on these last 2 cards here. And just throwing rocks in the enemy's lines. I actually want to try this because this is kind of interesting. We're going to try and throw as many rocks in the enemy's side just to be able to essentially ruin their setup, right? We got unlucky here. Okay, we got a Marauder. Brilliant. So this card, when played, randomly places 2 rocks in the opponent's front row. That is going to be really big. That's going to be really, really cool. It's going to mess up their thing completely. All right, so we've got a 2 power card here. When you acquire a bonus, randomly places a rock in the opponent's front row. And that lasts for the entire match. And this is a pretty powerful 7 power card for 2 costs. That's pretty big. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so they got the line going already. We need to break that line up, right? And then we do it with this. When played, places 2 rocks in the opponent's front row. And like that, the line is broken. That is incredible. Look at that. Okay. Awesome. We've broken the line. Their line effect is no longer active, from what I understand. Yeah, they've all got to be in a line, and the rocks break it. That is really neat. This isn't going to work anymore because we don't have any more space for it. When your turn ends, grants the unit on the right +2 power. Sure, so we'll put that there. Power up our Zur. Just a nice little power gain. They're screwed now. They are pretty screwed. We can't put any rocks in the back row, which is a shame. But we can inspire a unit. Okay, that's pretty cool. Or if there are units in the opponent's back row, +5 power to the unit on the left. So this is going to give me +12 points. This is going to give me +4. And then for the next 2 turns, +1. So this is +6. This is +12. So obviously this is the best benefit we can go for here. And we'll just go like that. There we go. So that's a +12. We got the 30 points we need. And now we basically just got to put this card. Grants unit power equal to 2 times the number of units in the opponent's front row. And we filled it with rocks. This is great. So put this down and power up. We'll power up Zerg on. And like that, we've got a 65 point. This deck is really powerful, actually. I mean, only to deal with this enemy's deck. Really brilliant. 67 points. And like that, we get the final reward. All right. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.